Recently, I stayed at the JW Marriott in San Antonio, a resort and spa hotel, featuring an expansive water experience with a lazy river and various different pools, but I'll be covering all of that in a separate hotel tour video. This particular video is going to focus on the room that I stayed in, which was a single king-size bedroom. Starting from the hallway, which took quite a while to get to my room anyways. It's a pretty big hotel, but you access it via a physical key card. Their mobile app is not set up, at least when I was filming this video. On the back of the door, you'll find the usual safety, so you have the emergency exit plan map, as well as a peephole and a physical door stopper, plus the usual privacy car door hanger, and also a deadbolt, which doubles as an electronic lock to prevent anybody from using a key card to enter your room. Entryway has a very large mirror. There's that light switch for this entryway on the wall, plus a few outlets right there. And then you are greeted with 2 Aquafina water bottles, plus 2 glasses. And then there's the ice bucket right there, which you can fill up with ice in various different ice and vending machine rooms all across the hotel. Just underneath that in the cabinets is the coffee maker or tea hot water maker. You have quite a few coffee pods, both caffeinated and decaf, and then a few packets of tea there in the back, plus some sugars and creams. Moving over here, we'll find the linen closet. Here you have your luggage holder, and then you have 2 bathrobes. Up here, it looks like there's an extra pillow and maybe some sheets, and you got some hangers, including clips for pants, and also an iron and an ironing board. If you want the hotel to do your laundry or do some dry cleaning, the prices are listed right here on this sheet. Just across from the closet is a full-length body mirror. And before we move on to the main space, let's take a look at the pretty big bathroom. It's able to fit a tub right here. There's 1 bar of soap and the bath mats and a set of towels hanging right here, plus of course the light switches. Moving over to the vanity, hanging on the wall is a large makeup mirror, and then you have outlets there to plug in your electric toothbrush, hairbrush, whatnot. A box of tissues right there, and the note on the mirror basically says that if you were to take any of the big toiletry bottles like the lotion, shampoo, conditioner, soap, you will be charged $45 per bottle. But right here next to the tissues are 2 glasses. Here is the sink, and then right over here in the corner you'll find a few toiletries, including a facial bar of soap that you're probably just going to use for your hands, mouthwash, and pump up body lotion, one of those bottles that you don't want to accidentally take with you if you don't want to pay $45 for, and then some cotton swabs and Q-tips. Underneath the vanity there's some hooks where you can hang hand towels. Another set of hooks can be found on the other side. There's 2 extra toilet paper rolls right there, and then the rest of your towels are right here. You have face towels, body towels, and hand towels, plus the hair dryer right there in the corner. Moving on to the shower area, which is this glass shower right here in the corner, and this tag encourages you to hang up your towels if you don't need them to refresh them every time. So stepping into the shower, this is what the situation is like. To be honest, I think it does show quite a bit of wear. There's a little bit in the corner if you need to put your own toiletries. There's the faucet handle, and then the 3 bottles of shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, which I did like when I used them. As you can see, there's a little bit of leftover like glue, maybe when they remodeled this shelf at some point. But here's the shower head. There's no handle, it's just a straight up head on shower, but it's located very high up. And then here's the toilets, and then there's a small trash can right there in the back. Toilet paper right there, and there's 1 more hook on the wall where you can hang your body towel. And so that's what the bathroom situation is like. Plenty spacious, overall pretty good condition. Moving over to the bedroom space, right here on the wall are all of the safeties. So you have the smoke detector, fire alarm, sprinkler, as well as your vents. Here's the recessed fan coil or air conditioning unit in the wall, which can be controlled in your room with this wall-mounted thermostat right here, very easy to use. When I first walked in, the big TV actually had my name on it saying welcome to the Marriott, and you can see it has its own landing page, so you can check like your hotel bill and a couple of like TV channel guides and stuff like that with this landing page. Now checking out the TV remotes, as you know, I always check out how greasy hotel remotes are, and this one is not too bad. This is a 4-star hotel after all, but I do see a little bit of oil on here, so it could be cleaned a little bit better, but better than most. As for the chemistry, the top 2 so-called drawers are actually just fake. And then bottom here, right, are a few slide-out drawers. This middle one here actually contains the small safe. Bottom drawer is still empty, and then this middle cabinet has the mini fridge. No freezer section, just your typical fridge components. Left side are just more dresser drawers. As you can see, there is actually no microwave in this room whatsoever. Over here is the attached desk. The ports right there in the front are not just outlets and USB ports, but also AV connections. So if you wanted to plug into the TV, these are actually where you would plug in. On the desk is a JW Marriott pen and some paper, and then the QR code if you want some room service, food delivered, and then hotel phone. Here's a look at the chair. Relatively comfortable, very spinny, and actually this portion of the desk pulls out so you can get an extension like this. In the corner here is your trash and also recycling bins, and then here is your curtain for your balcony view. So it is a pretty small space for a balcony, but you can actually walk out there and lean out. If you're on a higher floor, you'll get probably a nicer view, but overall, I was on the 2nd floor and I still had a relatively nice view. I just wasn't able to step out because there just happened to be a wasp nest right there in my corner. But continuing on with the rest of the room tour, there is a single-seater right there, plus a couch, and also a pull-out ottoman with a small center table. Here's a small little desk lamp in the corner, its individual switch, plus there is another drawer for more storage if you needed it. And I kind of dig the wall art or design here. It kind of gives it a rustic cabin feel without it actually being wood. Very appropriate for Texas. Moving over towards the bed area, this nightstand actually has a single phone receiver, no dialing, but if you need to take a bedside call, you could. Plenty of outlets and USB ports right above the nightstand, and there is the Holy Bible and the Book of Mormon in one of these. More space underneath if you want to store stuff. And here's a look at the king size bed. It has 4 pillows. And it has decent firmness. It's just your typical hotel bed. I personally slept very well in this bed. It was also very quiet at night. And the pillows themselves actually have 2 different firmness levels. Didn't know if that was intentional or not, but one of them is like a lot fluffier and the other one's a little bit more stuffed. The other side's nightstand also has an individually controlled light switch, and this side it has again more outlets including USB ports, but also an alarm. In the nightstand it comes my last bit of surprise. It looks like somebody may have left their unopened bottle of Pepsi. I was here for 3 nights for a conference and I thoroughly enjoyed my stay. It's definitely on the pricier end as a 4-star resort hotel, but it definitely lives up to that price. My only small gripes with this particular room is probably just the bathroom cleanliness or look of the shower. It just clearly screams it's old compared to everything else, and of course the unfortunate wasp nest on my balcony. But other than that, this has been a very pleasant stay in this particular room. If you want to see everything else that this hotel resort has to offer, definitely subscribe to my channel. We'll be doing a thorough separate hotel tour video. Thank you for watching.